Worcester News tonight, a teen is charged with stealing a vehicle after leaving the Stetson school. And police say this isn't the first time an incident like this has happened. Plus, the city has come to an agreement on how to better the trash system, but some residents are not happy with the solution. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Schaefer. A cool and mild day in the city Friday after a roller coaster of different weather patterns this week. Let's see what's in store this weekend with a quick look at our local forecast with meteorologist Tim Kelly.
Yeah, the front from yesterday well offshore. The final numbers, 2.13 inches of rain at the airport. In Worcester, the temperature hit 55, shy of the record 59. Now we're on the cold side again. A little bit of a disturbance near St. Louis. That's actually a warm front that's going to go through tomorrow night. So tomorrow day, we're going to have these little snow showers and snow flurries that are going by now, not really doing anything. The ground is frozen up again, so there's a lot of ice in the yards, but most of the roads had a chance to dry out. This evening, temperatures are falling through the 20s. It's actually a colder air mass coming in tonight. Bit of a breeze from the west, about 20 in the morning. So this is seasonable weather. And during the day tomorrow, actually that was midnight, wasn't it? Here's the wake-up weather tomorrow, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, 16, 18 degrees. This is a breeze from the west, a mixture of sun and clouds. The wind is going to be negligible tomorrow. It's a nice day outdoors, just on the colder side. Look at noontime. Top of the hill, 23. Lower elevations in the mid-20s. May touch 30 for a short time. And again, a chance for a flurry or a snow shower. It's a warm front coming through tomorrow night, so it's less cold on Sunday, but more breezy. And there may be some snow in the air, but not really accumulating. The bigger picture is probably Tuesday or so for a bigger storm. 10-day forecast in a few minutes.
President Donald Trump and congressional leaders reached a deal Friday to temporarily reopen the government and end the longest shutdown in U.S. history. Trump agreed to a short-term funding bill which doesn't include money for a border wall, something he had previously demanded to end the shutdown. Allison King has the latest.
From the Rose Garden, President Trump announcing a temporary end to the partial government shutdown, the longest in U.S. history.
I will sign a bill to open our government for 3 weeks until February 15th.
Now Congress must approve the deal that calls for a 3-week cooling off period while both sides negotiate border security. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer saying the president did what Democrats have been calling for all along.
Separate the funding of government from the discussion on border security, and that's what we got.
For House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a big victory.
It's really hard for some in the administration to understand how people live paycheck to paycheck and how marginal some of their existences are.
When you stand up to a bully, punch them in the nose, they back down. And I think the person who delivered the political punch in the nose here was Nancy Pelosi.
This deal includes no money for the president's wall, but he's confident Democrats will fund it.
They have finally and fully acknowledged that having barriers, fencing, or walls, or whatever you want to call it, will be an important part of the solution.
For Worcester News Tonight, I'm Allison King.
Air traffic control staffing issues causing widespread flight delays across the country, including here at the Worcester Regional Airport. At one point, there was a ground stop issued at New York's LaGuardia Airport. According to the FAA, the ground stop resulted from a spike in sick calls. It had a ripple effect, delaying flights elsewhere, like here in the city. Multiple flights were delayed, including an American Airlines flight to Philadelphia. Massport sent Worcester News Tonight a statement saying passengers may experience delays and should check with their airline for the latest information about their flight. A 14-year-old boy is arrested after allegedly stealing an SUV in Barrie. The suspect is a student at the Stetson school, which is a residential education treatment program for young males with behavioral health issues. Our Chandler Walsh joins us live now from the Barrie Police Department with more. Chandler?
Brittany, the family whose SUV was stolen does have it back. Stetson School's operator says it was the student's first day there. They're now working with DCF to determine the best placement and care plan for him. Barrie police arrest a 14-year-old. Officers say he stole an SUV from a resident's driveway. The teen is a student at the Stetson School, a residential education treatment program for young males with behavioral health issues.
Apparently, the student had only been on campus for a matter of hours, so they really didn't have a face sheet to provide us with detailed information on the individual.
Jennifer Thompson lives less than a mile from the school and next door to where the vehicle was stolen. She says she saw the SUV driving down her one-way street going the wrong direction.
That's going to catch your attention, so I watched as it went by, and it was going very slowly and just creeping past.
Police say the school notified them 20 minutes after the boy went missing Wednesday night. He was found in Oakham in less than an hour.
Luckily, no one was injured. There was some minor damage done to the vehicle itself, but nobody was hurt.
This isn't the first time an incident like this has happened. In June, 2 Stetson students ran away, prompting an hours-long search and public safety concern. Seven Hills Foundation operates the school. They say in a statement, Stetson School has worked to increase security measures at the campus through the placement of security cameras, enhanced staff trainings, and has become more selective in our admissions process. Seven Hills says incidents of students leaving campus have gone down by 81% since 2015, but Barry residents like Thompson say it isn't enough and are concerned for the safety of their families.
They're a facility meant to help these kids and rehabilitate these kids and keep them on the right path. Then they need more guidance and supervision than they're getting, because clearly something's missing.
Barry police say they typically send residents reverse 911 calls for incidents like this at Stetson. They weren't able to this time because of how quickly they found the boy. The 14-year-old is facing charges like breaking and entering a vehicle, larceny of a vehicle, and unlicensed driving. Live in Barry, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
An 8-point proposal to help tackle trash and litter issues in Worcester is backed by city councilors. But Friday, some residents are voicing concerns about the cost and other aspects of the program. And as our Gretchen LaRosa explains, there is now a petition against the new trash plan. Gretchen?
Brittany, city officials say the Clean City program estimates an average increased cost of 53 cents per week per household. But it is projected to generate an additional $1.3 million in revenue for the city. In an effort to keep this from happening, Worcester City Manager is proposing changes for how Worcester recycles.
We did a pilot program with the bags, and we saw not only very positive feedback from the residents who used the bags, but we saw a reduction in litter in the neighborhoods that had the clear bag program.
Ed Augustus says the biggest change for residents would be using clear plastic drawstring bags for recyclables instead of open containers.
So we know it'll work. We know that it'll satisfy the needs of our neighborhoods.
Residents and city leaders seem to agree something has to be done to clean up the debris on city streets.
As you can see, there's a paint can over there. There's a lot of Dunkin's cups that can be recycled. A little farther up, there's straight up dumping in terms of like wood and plastic and other things.
But there is some disagreement on this new Clean City program. More than 1,500 have signed an online petition asking for covered recycle bins. Worcester resident Sean Manson says the larger bins would be a better option for the city.
I feel if there's like a bigger thing, more people will end up recycling more, instead of using the can or the bin that can only hold so much.
City leaders say the issue with proposing the bins over the bags is the cost.
The big bins are $45 per bin. We would need to raise another $2 million in order to buy those bins. So the increase in the per bag fee would have to be more than double what we're proposing if we went to the bins.
Again, the voice of the people is very important, and I think if the people have some concerns and if the people really want to see something different, then I want to be able to hear from the people.
Now, city officials also say that the Clean City program will help make Worcester a greener city. Gretchen LaRosa, Worcester News Tonight.
The city of Worcester will build a skate park at Crompton Park. The agreement comes 6 months after crews tore down the Warside DIY skate park without notice. According to the city, the previous park was demolished because it was a possible safety hazard. It was located under 2 railroad bridges for nearly a decade. The new 14,000 square foot park will be off of Consigment Avenue. City Manager Ed Augustus says funding for the project will be discussed in the spring and will most likely be part of the 2020 fiscal budget. The city's Free Tax Service Coalition is kicking off the tax season Friday. This is their 15th year offering free tax services for low-income families. The program uses IRS-trained volunteers to prepare tax returns for families earning less than $54,000 a year. The United Way says more than 2,100 families qualified last year, and due to tax law changes, the need will be even greater this year.
Even greater because, let's be honest, doing taxes is not necessarily easy, even the easy form. Do we understand all the nuances and all the tax codes? Having trained volunteers, trained by the IRS, to help everybody make sure they get their maximum qualifications and their highest returns, and who understand all aspects of the new tax law, this is a great program.
And the tax return deadline is April 15th. The city of Worcester is hosting its annual Ice Sculpture Day this evening. Ice sculptors were working throughout the day on the Worcester Common Oval Friday on 4 different pieces. An ice masterpiece of Julian Edelman, Tuka Rask, Martin Luther King Jr., and a picture frame will be on display. The event offers residents an opportunity to take photos with the ice and enjoy public ice skating. Donald Chappelle from Brilliant Ice Sculptures says it takes time to master his craft.
I've been sculpting ice since I was 18, so that's about 40 years. And it takes about 20 years of just sculpting to actually get a little proficient. It's very satisfying to see people enjoy what you do.
The event was originally scheduled for Monday, but was canceled due to the low temperatures. The event runs from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m.